Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second Christmas dinner organised by World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis. Your Excellency, Sayyid Yusuf Zaghani, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Sajjad Karim MEP, members of the Board of Governors, and our hosts from Church of St. Anselm, and our honourable guests, you're most welcome to this auspicious evening. We are about to commence the formal programme. For this purpose, I would request our host, the vicar of this church, Christy Robinson, to come over and welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Well, may I repeat that welcome? We are so pleased to have you here. It's so wonderful to share our church with you, particularly in the season of Christmas. I would love to just bring you a little message that is given out from our Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, to all who sing carols at Christmas. I know that you're aware that he visited Pakistan earlier this year, and he has spoken repeatedly of the warmth of the welcome that he received in Pakistan. He's been very vocal about the special place that Pakistanis hold in his heart and in his prayers. So may I, on this 100th anniversary of the beginning of World War I, extend to you the message that he sends to all of us. He says, on Christmas Day in 1914, the guns fell silent on the Western Front, as German and British soldiers laid down their weapons to exchange greetings, to play football, to sing carols. But then they returned to their hostilities. This Christmas we're invited to leave our defended positions and meet those that we might consider to be our enemies, to exchange greetings with them, to make peace and to sing carols. So welcome to St. Anselm's.
The first Pakistani who ever served, our first South Asian ever served in Lambeth Palace with the Archbishop of Canterbury. Rana Yab Khan is a member of the Board of Governors of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis as well. So requested to.
Christmas is a festival and a feast of connectivity. Just three catchy words I want to leave with you. 3 M's. Messages, mess, and Messiah. Messages, mess, and Messiah. If you read Quran and Bible, you see angels and dreams and visions in activity. Mother Mary was received a message from an angel. Yusuf, father of Jesus, he received a message in a dream and a vision. Different messages coming through angels, coming through visions, coming through dreams, and then what happened after that, these messages? Absolute mess. Because Mary had a different plan in her life. She was not expecting any child. But all of a sudden, an angel came and said, you will receive a son. How it will happen? By the power of the Holy Spirit. So her whole plans gone away. Yusuf had different plans. His plans gone away. And the poor shepherds, you might have seen this script there. You will see some shepherds looking after their sheep in the wilderness. They had a different plan for the whole night. They were sharing stories. But all of a sudden, some angels came and they said, look, birth of Jesus in the town of Bethlehem. Their plans gone away. But there were some planned people who looked a star, planned their journey. Probably they have a navigator and all the stuff they needed for the journey, and they planned their journey, and finally they created a mess, a huge mess. Human crime, killing, murder of innocent people. Those people who are involved and receive emails, I never received any email from diplomatic circles, but those who receive emails or are in communication with diplomats, some emails are classified and some communication is unclassified. You can disclose any information you receive from any organization which is unclassified, but you are not allowed to share a classified information with anybody. All the messages on Christmas were classified. No message was unclassified. Mary's message was only for her. Message to Yusuf was only for him. And message to shepherds, that was unclassified message, shared with anybody, because birth of Jesus Christ is for the whole humanity. and the message for the Magi, the wise people, that was very much classified message, only for you. But they shared it with someone and then created the mess and killing of innocent people. But what happened after that? We need to speak out. We need to share whatever the good news comes to us. And we need to ready, this is the last thing I want to leave with you, we need to ready to speak to the Bush. Mr. Bush. There was a huge war, and all the time there is a mess in the Middle East. But in December 1990, when the Desert Storm operation was going on, there was a discussion in the heavens. God said, I should settle this mess. And God is very good in sending messages. And he decided, okay, I will speak to someone who has authority in the Middle East and who has real power in the Middle East. So 3 people came up. Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Moses. These are responsible, and most of people who live in the Middle East, they are their followers. And finally, God spoke to Moses, Hazrat Musa, and said, you go and speak to these Middle Eastern people. They love you and they have a respect for you. And just go and you say, someone who has a real authority in this world, don't create mess. And you know who is that? You need to speak with Bush. This is the catchy thing. You need to speak with Bush. And Prophet Moses, Hazrat Musa, he said, please sir, I don't want to speak with Bush. Because once in my life, I had interaction with a bush and was sent to the wilderness for 40 years. So Christmas message is ready to speak with the bush. What is the truth? What is for the betterment of the common good, for the humanity, ready to speak out with power. And now I leave you with very powerful and mighty hands of our chair, Mr. Kareem Sajjad, who is a member of European Parliament, and he'll come and say some words.
Rana, thank you very much for that. Mr. Yusuf Raza Gilani, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Vicar Robinson, on behalf of the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, may I thank you for opening up the doors of this house of God and welcoming us in such a wonderful way as what you have done this evening. If there is any way in which to spell out what Christmas signifies, then we have already all experienced it by arriving here this evening as your guests. You truly have been a wonderful host. As chairman of the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, it is indeed a very great pleasure and honour for us today, the former Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani, to be amongst us, the entirety of our community celebrating Christmas here in London today. You mentioned in your opening remarks World War I. And there is one particular episode from that I wish to reiterate this evening, because it is about contribution. And on the battlefields of Belgium, there came a point at which an entire company had been wiped out. And one man stood alone. He refused to abandon his gun. He was shot, injured to a point where he could no longer stand, but he refused to abandon the gun that he was manning. And he continued to fight. And he maintained his position, fighting under the British flag, until reinforcements arrived. That soldier was then awarded with the Victoria Cross. That was no other than one gentleman of the name Mr. Khudadad Khan, a Pakistani fighting under the British flag. And it is that very same contribution that I see has been made by the Christian community in Pakistan. And they are the very fabric Pakistani society, and they are the fabric of that society. They are the fabric of that society because of their contribution, their achievement, and their sacrifice. So I want that to be formally recognized in my speech here today. In the West, I see a real changing mood taking place. It is becoming increasingly difficult for policymakers like myself to hold firmly to their religious beliefs when we are formulating policy, whichever parliament we may serve in. There is a big push from those from within secular movements and indeed from anti-religious lobbies to try and remove religion from a public place to a private place. And today there is a need for all those people who believe that religion can be a force for good in the public arena to come forward with one voice. And it is in that spirit of oneness that we are all gathered here today. And it is in that spirit that I bid you all a very warm, happy Christmas. I hope that all of you will be able to spend this time with your families and reflect on what is true and what is actually the essence of your lives. And on that note, it falls on me as a great pleasure to have the duty of introducing our chief guest for this evening, the most honourable former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Yusuf Raza Gilani. Thank you.
Today, we are here in the church to celebrate the Christmas. And I recall, as the Prime Minister of Pakistan, I was the first Prime Minister who celebrated the Christmas in the church in Istanbul. That was the first time. I am also very familiar with the work of World Congress of Forum of Pakistan and their hard work which they are doing. I am extremely grateful to Sajjad Karim Saab for supporting Pakistan in the European Union for the GSP Plus status. And today, the international community is also present. That shows that how much you people are into getting together to celebrate this Christmas. I started September 11th as the Minority Day in Pakistan. And also, I established an independent ministry of interfaith harmony. I appointed a federal minister who belonged to your community, Mr. Shahbaz Bhatti, as the Minister for Minority. I am coming from Oslo today. I attended the Nobel Peace Prize given to Malala Yousafzai. And it is a great honor and a great respect for the overseas Pakistanis. And that was the best moment of my life. I recognized her at the age of 14 when she was a little girl. I gave her the Peace Award to Malala when she was a student in Sabat. And she was not known to the world at that time. Now the whole world recognized Malala, and she's the pride of our country. Today I went to attend that Nobel Peace Prize program to show the solidarity with the world, that we are peace-loving people. We want peace, prosperity, and progress for the whole world. If we are at the frontline state fighting against terrorism and extremism, that means we are not fighting for Pakistan alone. We are fighting for the peace, progress, and prosperity of the whole world. I congratulate you for the award. Nobel Peace Award has been given to Malala, and she is amongst the Pakistanis, overseas Pakistanis, and this is the contribution of overseas Pakistanis, and therefore I pay tribute to them. And today my visit here is a message that we as a party want that there should be peace in the world, and we don't want anything which is against peace. And we are against violence. And we want the world to progress. And the overseas Pakistanis can play an extremely important role in bringing the other communities together and strengthen the image of Pakistan. Thank you very much. Pakistan, by love.
And thank you very much for sharing the wonderful news and celebrating Malala Yousafzai's Nobel Prize, which being an overseas Pakistani, that's a matter of pride for all of us. I think we all need to pay homage to Malala Yousafzai by giving a tremendous applause. Dr. Sohail Chiftai, who is President of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis UK, who is going to introduce you to WCOP and the message what this particular Christmas dinner holds for us all. So let's give a big hand to Dr. Sohail Chiftai, President of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the guests, a very good evening to you all. We are here to celebrate diversity. As a matter of fact, unity and diversity we are celebrating. It's very obvious. We've got so many people involved in this program. They all come from different communities, and we just want to elaborate what WCOP means to us, why we are doing this. If you want to sum up this in 2 words, I would say integration and empowerment. Integration means to us what? Integration is when we overseas Pakistanis, living in the country of our adoption, wherever we are, we learn to respect the local laws. We learn the customs of the country we live in. But at the same time, we enjoy our traditions, we enjoy our customs, our norms and rituals. And that is an art, that you prevent the friction between the two. That is an art which doesn't come overnight. It takes years of conscious effort to get to that point. This integration, why is that important? It's not just a beautiful word. It's important because we believe that the segregation will cause pockets, concentration of communities, and the social mobility across those pockets of the underprivileged will be very difficult. Imagine a person with less social skills. They won't be able to leave their community and integrate with other powerful people. We don't want that. We want integration. And the second word is empowerment. Empowerment is that we cannot give social or professional education to people. but we can increase the skill set of people. And that is what WCOP will do and is doing by a philosophy of engaging people, giving them skill sets, giving them education, not professional, but giving them motivational education in their fields. So this empowerment, this integration, how we achieve that, how we get to that point to give this scenario working. We have got a team of board of governors, the people who are very influential. They financially contribute to the organization as well, and they use their wisdom and power to get us through. We've got board of executive advisors who are intellectually very comprehensive, and they give us the thinking guideline, and they give us the membership drive. The third pillar is the panel of experts. These are the people who will give education in different fields. And the pillar of this whole philosophy is the friends organizations. We integrate with people, organizations, we merge with them, we do collaborative events, and that's how we increase the working together and we engage people. So these four pillars, the governors, advisors, the experts, and the organizations, they underpin our strength. And people who think that the time to work together is still far, please rethink. This is the time. This is the time. We have to lay the path of integration. It's a corporate social responsibility and a moral one as well. Thank you very much. Happy Christmas. Thank you.
WCOP, World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, has really showed its capacity to bring people from different faiths and ethnic backgrounds together in a room. Not just to celebrate Christmas, in different occasions discuss thorny and difficult questions and difficult issues. And today, WCOP, World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, has proved I can see people from a wide spectrum of life, people who have people from Baha'i faith, Pakistani Hindus, Pakistani Christians, Pakistani Muslims, and people from the white community, and people who have Indian background. They are also sitting in the mass. This is a wonderful opportunity to create some peace and harmony here in the United Kingdom, and to try and to find some ways how we can exert and how we can send this experience of unity, human rights, religious freedom that we all enjoy here, how we can send it back in the country of our origin where people are really deprived of it. People not really need pounds, they need prosperity. People not really need governor, they need a governance there. Now I would like to invite Dr. Peter David, who is local GP of many people who are sitting here, because he lives locally and occasionally he comes to our church. Dr. Peter David, a very prominent Pakistani Christian who came in this country 40 years ago and a very successful businessman and has a great passion for religious communities and especially minorities in Pakistan.
Thank you. We are grateful to you for choosing Stanmore and our church to host this particular dinner. And I'm grateful to you for honoring me by giving me this opportunity. If the mission is to promote good relations amongst the communities, enhance understanding of different faiths, and increase cooperation between those who subscribe to this mission, then few organizations are doing better than the job that is being done by the World Council of Overseas Pakistan. And thank you for doing that. especially the President Sahib, Sultan Sahib, we are honored that you are here and you are a big to others to follow. In this unique gathering, where people have powers to make opinion, make decisions, and form opinions of others, I would urge you to search your heart and see how many people can actually speak against injustice. How many people can stand up for those who have no legs to stand up on? And how many people can be the voice of those who have no voice? My thoughts, like the former Prime Minister and Sajjad Bhim Sahib, go back to my country, Pakistan, where I travel frequently, where I was born, where I was educated, where I served, where my heart is. And there is in Pakistan so much injustice against my community. Christmas for me is not Christmas because I think of Asya Bibi, who is incarcerated in a jail in Pakistan for a crime she has not committed. And I believe, sir, you're doing the best you can, but I think you do want to do more. Thank you, sir.
We have Mufti Laqat Ali, who is going to share with you why Christmas is an expression of celebration for Muslims as well, very briefly. Thank you very much.
Christmas is a celebration not only celebrated by Christians, as you noticed in the world today. It has become a universal celebration throughout the world, even for those people who are not even believers. It has gained that momentum, it has gained that kind of status. We as Muslims, we look at the Quran, which is our guiding light, and we see Isa, or Jesus, or Isa is known in Arabic, mentioned time and again. In fact, there are chapters dedicated to his mother, Maryam, or Mary, Virgin Mary. We have Surah Al-Iman, dedicated to the family of Isa, Jesus. He is mentioned with other prophets like Moses or Musa, Ibrahim. Muslims believe there were 124,000 prophets that came to the guidance of mankind. And a Muslim cannot be a Muslim unless he believes in every one of them, he respects them, reveres them, and accepts the message that they came with. It may come as something news to you, really, but it is true. The slightest bit of disrespect shown to any prophet, any messenger of God, including Jesus, takes the person out of the fold of Islam. He is no more Muslim. Simple as that. So this is something that is common, and it's something that we should celebrate. That we are here, whether we are Muslims or Christians or Jews, whatever else. There are people in our lives that we adore. There are people in our lives, especially the prophets and the saints, that we revere. They should be respected. And this, I think, is such a day that unites us all. May Almighty God accept our gathering here today. May He make it a means of our coming together, and hopefully that we will unite and be even greater together in the near future. And with these few words, I conclude and wish you a very joyous and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Yourself for your message of solidarity and togetherness. I have the pleasure of calling Dr. Isran Hussain, Minister of Culture, to speak on behalf of the High Commissioner of Pakistan.
I've been speaking quite a lot, and once I went to say my prayers in the mosque, but I was wondering that whether I would get a chance to speak in a mosque as well. So what happened, we were celebrating the Kashmir Solidarity Day, and we had a plan that there would be prayers for the liberation of the Kashmiri brethren who are suffering under the hands of tyranny. And there I got a chance to speak. And a very similar feeling I'm having today when I'm standing in a church and getting a chance to say a few words on Christmas to a very august audience which is sitting here. I must congratulate the WCOP and its membership for hosting this event and providing an opportunity to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, one of the revered prophets of Islam, and of course Christianity. And I call him a binding force between Islam and Christianity. One of our great poets, Ghalib, said, Ibn Maryam hua kare koi, Ibn Maryam hua kare koi, mere dukh ki dawa kare.
Wow, well done.
To translate that for those who don't understand Urdu, fruitless to me the miracles of Christ unless someone cures my sufferings. The word Messiah has come proverbial and synonymous in our literature, both in Urdu and in Persian. And Maulana has just referred to Surah Maryam and Surah Al-Imran, in which there is the picturesque explanation of the birth of the Jesus Christ. 25th December is very important for us because of two things. One, the birth of Jesus Christ, and second, our father of nation, Muhammad Ali. Because of which I'm proud in standing here to say that we are Pakistanis, and we are celebrating Christmas with our brethren here in London in a church, sitting before the diocese and its members. Now I won't be taking a lot of your times, but there is a very catchy phrase which has taken my attention from the WCOP, your cardinal features, I would say. That is the value of diversity, integration, and togetherness in a multicultural Great Britain. I'll just give a very short view of Islam. The objective of Islam is to bring about divine revolution, to initiate and invite people to worship Allah, to strive for a society in which spiritual, ethical, and human values are cherished. It advocates an atmosphere where peace, tolerance, love, and well-wishing is the order of the day, and an atmosphere where controversies are resolved without the use of violence. This is the desired word of Islam. and such a world can be established only through peaceful dialogue. The truth is that this religion, Islam, is based on monotheism with regard to God and on peaceful dialogue with regard to methodology. This is the essence of Islamic teachings. No other way is possible in Islam. We don't have any space for extremism, for fundamentalism, or obscurantism, and those who happen to be extremists are in fact unaware of the real spirit of Islam. The fact is that every religion, be it Islam or any other, aims at teaching people love and brotherhood. It eradicates hatred among people by bringing them together. In the contemporary world, the principle of peaceful coexistence can play an important role in avoiding the conflict in the world which has become more lethal with the advancement of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, you're standing to say goodbye. In the words of Charles Dickens, I would say Merry Christmas and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sam. At this occasion, we have a very brief appearance from a Mayor Francis Stanton, who is also a councillor, Mayor of Hammersmith and Fulham, who would have brief words about this event. And I would also invite Prince Mohsen Khan to present something to one of the board members. So Mayor Francis Stanton, for your brief words, and then we finish the meeting afterwards.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will indeed be brief because I think you're all longing for supper. I am delighted, honoured and delighted to meet you, the members of the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, so ably chaired by Dr. Suhail. It's something which actually interests me particularly because my own borough has a strong Pakistani population. And it was my pleasure to make, as mayor, some of them who came to my ceremony of becoming a British citizen, to become British citizens. And you're talking about integration. Well, how integrated can you get? That was a great pleasure to me. And I think it's also a moment in history which we're all becoming more conscious of, when interfaith tolerance is really beginning to blossom. And it's sometimes even unconscious. For instance, I chose 3 friends to be my helpers when I was mayor. One was Maris, who was an Australian and didn't have a great interest in religion. Another was a French Roman Catholic who was an ardent believer. And another was Prince Ali Khan, who was, of course, a Muslim. And so, without knowing it, I made a multi-faith team, and it acted extremely well across the world. We really enjoyed it. And I think that what I've learned from you tonight is that there's some very interesting ideas coming around the world, and one that resounded particularly strongly with me, sorry about the cloak, but I seem to want to go, was your former Prime Minister using words like peace and prosperity, and he repeated it several times. And he also referred to Malala Yousafzai. Now, it so happens that I'm a founder member of World Peace and Prosperity Foundation, the chairman of who is Prince Ali Khan, who will be speaking to you in a moment. And we have found probably one of our first people we decided to honour for special and exceptional services, both nationally and internationally, was Yousafzai. She was, at this point, just recently shot. She just arrived in Birmingham, and she was pretty unknown and pretty much in danger. And we felt that to recognise her was important, to give her some understanding. Even the Pakistani High Commissioner came to receive the award for her, so that the world began to know that we really did look upon her with wonderment and delight. So I think, really, I did want to be very brief, so I won't say a lot of things I had in my heart to say. Very nice to have met you all, and I'd now like to hand over to Prince Ali Khan.
I'm going to chair our meeting and Prince Ali Khan has something to present. So we'll be inviting him to present something to
Assalamu alaikum. As you know, that there is a proverb. Old is gold. So here I am. It so happened that I have been brought up in the Sufi tradition. I belong to the Nizam family of Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, we had one religious minister to handle all the cases and look after all the communities. So I recommend that every government should have one ministry of religion so that it will serve the real service. So anyhow, I want to make it short. I'm here as an invitation from Dr. Tai, and he's very close to me because what he does, and this is what I like to do, and I have been doing, and interfaith I have started since 1964. Cut it short, I think this is the occasion in the house of God. I'd like to invite Dr. Choktai for the work what he is doing, and because of that we are here. So would you come forward?
Present a token of love to Christine Robinson, Reverend Christine Robinson from Council Shelter.
God bless all of you, and we will end this event